When Russia unveiled the Su-75 Checkmate at the MAKS 2021 air show, it grabbed global headlines. A single-engine, stealth-shaped, fifth-generation light fighter priced at an astonishingly low $25 to $30 million each. That promise, delivering a credible F-35 class jet at a fraction of the cost, was bold. And yet 5 years later, no flying prototype has appeared. The first flight, originally scheduled for 2023, was delayed to 2024, then 2025, and current estimates place serial deliveries only in 2026 or 2027. On paper, Checkmate looks intriguing. It adopts diverterless supersonic inlets, AV tail, internal weapons bays and radar-absorbent coatings, all classic stealth design cues. It shares avionics and components with the Su-57 heavy stealth fighter, including AI-enhanced diagnostics Matryoshka, modular open architecture, and an AESA radar, along with IRST, passive multi-band sensors and the COPE 75 optoelectric targeting system. Performance claims include Mach 1.8 to 2.0 top speed, operational range of 2,800 to 3,000 kilometers, a payload of up to 7,400 kilograms, including internal carriage of guided air-to-air and air-to-surface missiles, and sustained 8 grams maneuvering capability due to a favorable thrust-to-weight ratio. All of that while carrying price tags 1/3 of Western equivalents. Sounds like a winner. But the real story lies in what's unproven. No flight tests have occurred. So far only a mock-up or static prototype exists. As Reddit commenters quipped bluntly, the Su-75 is as legitimate as my hairline, as credible as my sex life. Another wrote, as of now it's just a mock-up concept, so far they are relying on funding from the government or an export customer. It's just a mock-up as of now, it's just as legit as Iran's 5th-gen fighter, Nuff said. Critics highlight the long, troubled trajectory of the Su-57 program. That aircraft has seen repeated delays in only a handful of prototype flight hours. The idea that Sukhoi could deliver a fully tested, exportable variant on a compressed timeline strains credibility. Moreover, analysts suspect that Western sanctions have severely curtailed Russia's access to advanced microelectronics, semiconductors, and high-end avionics. Without these critical components, achieving true radar reduction or sensor fusion equivalent to F-35 standards is dubious. Yet Russia continues to market Checkmate aggressively to export clients in Asia, the Middle East and Africa. Rostec has reported interest from the UAE, India, Vietnam, Algeria and others. As recently as May 2025, Russia announced talks with Belarus for co-production and even their first export customer. But so far no formal purchase agreements or orders have been confirmed. The economic pitch remains compelling. Unit cost estimated at $25 to $30 million, versus $82 to $100 million for an F-35, with flight hour cost 6 to 7 times lower. For smaller air forces or those politically excluded from Western systems, Checkmate seems tailored. And open architecture design, AI-aided maintenance, optional unmanned or twin-seat variants, and the ability to control loyal drones in tactical networks all add high-tech flavor on paper. But the underlying question remains, will the hype match reality? Defense analysts caution that Russia's air combat priorities may favor immediate needs over speculative export programs. Long-term projects like Su-75 risk being indefinitely postponed, or scaled down to limited small batches, like past non-delivered prototypes such as the Su-47 or MiG-1.44. One can even read scathing commentary that calls Checkmate vapor marketing, a flashy concept with little substance. As one analyst argued, there's no mention of stealth in some of Rostec's official communications. At best, the aircraft may be a 4.5-gen fighter, lighter than an F-16V but not at the true 5th-generation level of sensor fusion and low observability. Without stealth, it can't really match F-35 or J-31. As of spring 2025 there are reports of 2 prototypes under production, Belarus fatigues joining for co-production, and possible preliminary deliveries by 2026, but none of that guarantees a fully capable operational fighter. The geopolitical impact matters too. Should Belarus or allied states deploy Checkmates, NATO's posture near the Baltics or Poland may need recalibration. Here's what's clear: if Russia ever delivers a flying, test-proven Su-75 in significant numbers with stealth, AESA radar, AI support, internal weapons bays, high range and low cost, that could shake up options for air forces excluded from US and Western systems. It would also give Russia a powerful export tool and allow smaller nations access to near-5 general capability. But for now, it remains a choice between two narratives. 1. A highly capable, cost-effective light stealth fighter designed for export and built with modern design tools, promising to leapfrog decades of aerospace cost barriers. 2. A static mock-up, delayed timelines, no orders, no flight history, subject to technology shortage and geopolitical isolation, ultimately a marketing mirage. The truth may lie somewhere in between. Russia continues incrementally on the Su-57 and hopes to repurpose that pipeline for Su-75. The IZDELIYE-30 engine should eventually arrive, and oligarch funding or export deals with Belarus or others could underwrite limited production. If Belize signs on, they might become the first export partner, and that could catalyze more interest and deter skepticism. However, history warns that Russia has voiced tall promises before. If the Su-57's production rate remains painfully slow, the checkmate may falter or be indefinitely shelved. Without real flight performance, stealth ability, sensor fusion and avionics robustness, all the design geometry and low price in the world won't convince defense ministers. Ultimately, for now Su-75 checkmate is a concept-turned hyped handshake, an export pitch, a fancy mock-up, a well-crafted video and slick promise, but with zero verified capability and flight. If it materializes, it could be a real threat to mid-tier air forces worldwide. If not, it may fade into the roster of impressive Russian prototypes that never flew beyond ambition. But time will tell. By mid-2026, Russia may roll out a flying prototype. By 2027, initial deliveries might begin. If that happens, and export, co-production and buyer commitments follow, the checkmate could prove its name. Until then, it remains uncertain whether the Su-75 will indeed be a threat or remain just hype.